Good afternoon, everyone. You're so very welcome. I think we're just a number of people who's joining there, but delighted to have you join us today, and you're very welcome. So just numbers climbing there. I think it's such a great sign of the numbers here today about what the interest there is in this topic. So again, thank you so much for joining. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Siobhan McManamy. I'm the Director of Markets and Partnerships here in Tourism Ireland, and I'm thrilled to take you through our Ireland Unrushed campaign today. So at the Marketing Plan launches in January, we first spoke about this campaign. We said that we were going to make June Slow Tourism Month and use that month to focus on all the great sustainable tourism activities happening across the island of Ireland. We said it was going to be about increasing dwell time in communities and in nature and looking at lower carbon options for holidaying in Ireland. On the day, we got lots of great feedback immediately, which was great because it got us off on the right path in developing the campaign. And we've since really enjoyed discovering all the great work that's happening on the ground in developing sustainable tourism experiences right across the island of Ireland. We've enjoyed learning about them, and now we're really excited to tell the rest of the world about them. And I think even in the 4 months since the marketing plan launch, when we announced this campaign, the story continues to evolve, and there's been so many great announcements, including that from County Clare, and lots of great tourism experiences as well, starting on that sustainable journey. And thanks to our colleagues in Fáilte Ireland and Tourism Northern Ireland for all the work they're doing on the ground to give us these great stories to tell the rest of the world about. So today we're delighted to share the details of the June campaign with you. And we've had lots of you already involved in it, telling us your stories. And I'd say it's been really inspiring for us to be hearing about them. So the campaign is Ireland Unrushed, and the team will tell you a lot more about it. But what we're going to do is Jessie, who's been leading on this campaign within Tourism Ireland, is going to talk you through the campaign itself. We're then going to tell you a little bit about how it's rolling out in market. So Nadine will tell you how the campaign will look in Germany, and Judith how the campaign will look in GB. Aisling is then going to come on and tell us all how you can get involved. And there's lots of ways to get involved, both by joining our campaign and by helping us extend the campaign through your own activities. And then we're going to do some questions and answers. Elma will lead us through that. So if you have any Q&A as the presentation is going on, either about anything you hear today or anything else Tourism Ireland related, please pop it in the Q&A box there, and we'll be thrilled to come back to those later. All in all, we should be about 45 minutes. And thanks again for joining. And I'm now very happy to hand over to Jessie, who'll tell you all about Ireland Unrushed.
Thanks, Siobhan. So as Siobhan touched on, you last heard about our slow tourism campaign at the marketing plans launch in January. So we shared that during the month of June, we would run a slow tourism campaign. And I guess I just wanted to start today with a reminder of the why. As you'll know, as an organisation, sustainability is at the heart of Tourism Ireland's corporate strategy and baked into our annual business plans. We have a responsibility to grow revenue responsibly, factoring in the environmental and social impacts as well as the economic. And we do so by inspiring an audience who we have identified to have value-adding tourism traits. So that is that they are people who are likely to see more, do more, and spend more during their time on the island of Ireland, and also through strengthening strategic partnerships that are always led with a values-led approach. And then secondly, there is the opportunity. So our research has shown that holidaymakers are primed for sustainability messaging, with 50% prepared to spend more on sustainable accommodation and experiences when on holidays, and 58% wanting to learn more about the sustainable practices of the country or location that they intend to visit. So these two components, both the responsibility and the opportunity, allow us to build on our commitment to a sustainable tourism sector and inspire our audiences with a slow tourism month this June. So the trend for slow tourism and slow travel has been building momentum in recent years. I saw an article in AdWorld in March that said, put the growth at 15% year on year, but what exactly do we mean by slow tourism? Globally, slow tourism can be understood as focusing on fostering deeper connections between overseas visitors, local communities, and the environment, and decelerating the travel experience, encouraging visitors to spend more time in fewer places. This June, Tourism Ireland will run a slow tourism campaign that will showcase that in Ireland you can enjoy a broad range of sustainable transport and tourism experiences that allow for a slower paced, more immersive holiday and aim to land a new vision of what visiting Ireland can be, ultimately inspiring our audiences to increase their dwell time in communities and in nature on the island of Ireland all year around. Slow tourism, when you boil it down, can be seen as a reaction to a culture of jam-packed schedules and a culture of seeing and doing everything. So I guess the question is, what is our unique angle on slow tourism in Ireland, and how do we lean into this theme and trend in a way that feels authentic to the island of Ireland? And for us in Ireland, slow tourism is not about doing less, it's about feeling more. So using feeling more as a strategic thread throughout everything we do in this campaign, which you'll see come to life in the following slides, we plan to communicate slow tourism in an emotive way that resonates more deeply with our audience. And on the note of audience, and as a reminder to you all who our target audience are in Tourism Ireland, we call them our enrichment explorers. So this is a segment of people who are drawn to lesser known destinations and more meaningful experiences. And from our research, and as you can see on this slide, they also over-index in slow tourism traits. So on the first box, two boxes you can see there, enrichment explorers are 1.25 times more likely to consider the environmental impact. They're more likely to seek experiences that broaden and stimulate their minds, and they want to feel the true character of a place. So how do we communicate slow tourism in Ireland in a unique and ownable way? Well, I'm delighted to share our campaign wrapper, which we are calling Ireland Unrushed. So Ireland Unrushed is our unique and ownable take on slow tourism that will work as our consumer-facing campaign name, and it's focused on the depth of the experience. So we really want to lean into the emotional benefits of slowing down, and we intend to share this and share the communication around taking your time and immersing yourself on the island of Ireland will help you to feel more. Across our Ireland Unrushed campaign, these key themes that you can see outlined here will be told through the strategy of Feel More, where we focus on the depth of the experience. So when it comes to getting around, for example, we will elevate the use of sustainable transport from the logistics to the chance to feel more. So a train journey from Cork City to Cove is a chance to sit back and soak up the Atlantic Ocean. We're aiming to change perceptions of what Ireland has to offer with unrushed activity like the new Caves to Cruise experience in Fermanagh aboard the solar-powered Island Discovery boat, or kayaking to Clough Uchther, featuring right throughout the campaign. Time spent in nature is obviously a cue to sustainability, but we also want to affirm its potential to move you. So our most beautiful and diverse landscapes will feature right throughout this campaign, from the rugged coastlines of the Northwest to the lush green heartlands. And last but certainly not least, we will also aim to communicate the emotional benefits of human connection and spending time with locals, whether that is through joining Shenanigans walking tour in Kilkenny or joining a trad session in Matt Malloy's pub in Westport. And to bring these themes together in a cohesive and practical way for visitors to enjoy, we are developing 10 Ireland Unrushed journeys that showcase a broad range of sustainable tourism and transport experiences across the island of Ireland that will inspire our audiences to increase their dwell time in fewer places. So these 10 journeys will obviously reflect a spread of destinations right across the island of Ireland that are easily accessible from our gateways, including Dublin, Shannon, Belfast and Cork, and will feature a broad range of destinations right from Strangford to Waterford and Westport and many other places in between. Within these journeys, and as I touched on, we will present on the last slide, we will present sustainable ways of getting around and getting there, and also reflect the ethos of Ireland Unrushed within all of the recommended things to do. I just thought it was important to note here that while we will have 10 hero journeys, the destinations within these are not the only destinations that will be highlighted in the campaign. And across the campaign and across our channels, as you'll see as we get into more granular detail of the market plans in the coming slides, we will have a really broad mix of destinations right across the island of Ireland. But before I get into a little bit more of the granular detail, I'm delighted to now share a sneak peek of two of our creative assets that will feature as part of the campaign. A couple of caveats before we share them, because they are very much a work in progress. So just to note that there's a few elements that are not finalized yet, including the music, the typography. These are placeholders for now. And also a grade needs to be applied to the video. So the final output will look more cohesive visually than it does now. But I guess hopefully by sharing the creative assets, this will give you a sense of how we intend to bring Ireland Unrushed to life and how we're really aiming to inject that emotion of feel more. And without further ado, this is... So I hope you enjoy them and can see how we're bringing Ireland Unrushed to life and really injecting the emotion of how you can feel when you slow down on a visit to Ireland. But as I said, they are very much a work in progress. So final assets will be delivered and go live in June. And I guess I wanted to start off by just being clear that hopefully some of you are familiar with our Fill Your Heart with Ireland campaign, which continues to run. And just a note to say that the Ireland Unrushed campaign, and hopefully you'll agree, sits beautifully under this banner to deliver our unique slow tourism message for the month of June. And then our Fill Your Heart with Ireland campaign can recommence. So as you've just seen in this preview, we are working on developing a suite of Ireland Unrushed campaign assets, which will launch with a media campaign on June 2nd, and that will live across YouTube, Meta and Pinterest, and will go live in GB, Germany, France, US, Canada, Spain, Italy and the Netherlands. And also to further enhance the campaign message and reach our audience in the US and Canada, we have a partnership with Condé Nast, which will deliver compelling content and really help to reinforce our campaign message. Throughout the month of June, all Tourism Ireland channels beyond paid media will prioritise Ireland Unrushed messages with a key focus on those inspirational journeys that I touched on that promote environmentally conscious modes of transport to explore the island of Ireland, and highlight local tourism experiences that result in greater dwell time in communities and nature. Our social channels, which have a global audience of 7 million, will feature 30 days of content of inspiring Ireland Unrushed imagery and video that feature Ireland Unrushed destinations and stories from right across the island of Ireland. And our Ireland.com landing page will be a useful resource for visitors wanting to find out more. Our publicity team are working on a toolkit of compelling news stories that will be delivered in the month of June, and we will also welcome media and influencers to experience slow tourism in Ireland firsthand, with visits planned across the island. Not to mention some in-market activities that bring Ireland Unrushed to life, which you'll hear more on shortly. From a trade perspective, a toolkit with the unique needs of tour operators and travel agents in mind is being prepared, and a trade easing will also be delivered to overseas trade. You'll hear more from Aisling shortly on industry and how you can get involved, so I won't steal her thunder. But before that, I'm delighted to pass over firstly to Nadine, the Market Manager for Germany, and then Judith, the Market Manager for GB, who will share some of their really exciting plans for Ireland Unrushed. And with that, I'm going to pass over to Nadine.
Thank you, Jessie. I hope you can hear me fine. I'm truly delighted that we are finally launching a dedicated campaign around slow tourism, a topic that resonates deeply with the German audience and the German travelers here. Slow tourism is becoming increasingly important to the German travelers, and according to an analysis by the German Travel Association, over 60% of Germans seeks relaxing holidays with time for nature and unwind. Consider sustainability in their travel planning, and more than a half now prefer longer stays in one location over fast-paced tours. This shift highlights a growing desire for authentic experiences and respect for environment and local culture. In line with this shift, we are planning and preparing several high-impact activities in the German market, both in publicity and trade, in addition to our planned digital campaign that was introduced by Jessie. The digital campaign in Germany will focus on YouTube, Meta, and Pinterest as well. A key highlight will be an exclusive media lunch in Hamburg, bringing together approximately 20 top editors from major publications. Selected Irish industry partners will have the opportunity to feature their story in this premium setting, accompanied by a special giveaway presented to the attending journalists. Between courses, we will briefly pitch inspiring stories before we dive deeper into conversations at the tables, and this will enable meaningful and personal engagement and storytelling. On the trade side, we are currently developing a partnership or more partnerships to promote bespoke itineraries, both for within B2B and B2C. And the well-established tour operator, as an example, is Gebeco, who we work with, certified for its strong commitment to sustainability, who offers dedicated tours throughout Ireland. Together with Germany's leading trade magazine, for example, we are hosting a webinar for around 2,000 travel agents to present the concept of slow tourism in Ireland, along with our proposed travel routes. Selected Irish partners will also be able here to contribute with storytelling during these sessions. In the middle of June, the same magazine organizes a conference on slow tourism and sustainability alongside a special issue of a publication featuring Ireland and relevant partner stories. In addition to these highlights, we are working on special media OTS content push for 11,000 media contacts in Germany and a radio content push with a reach of approximately 1 million consumers. This consists of the special created storybook, as well as several media press releases that will be featured on a regular communication for over 1,900 media contacts throughout June. An industry call out and tour operator call out have been issued to gather special offers for our campaigns, and I hope you can contribute a lot to that. That will be featured on island.com with our landing pages. With their tour, the biggest tour operator in Germany featuring Island, and the biggest program for sustainability, slow tourism in Ireland, we will be delivering a targeted internet training session for over 8,000 contracted agencies to strengthen product knowledge around Ireland and special slow tourism itineraries. Further planned activities include a print editorial in the ADAC Reisemagazin with a reach of over 250,000 consumers. A special podcast with an average download of 1,000 consumers will be launched in June as well. In May, we will send 2 influencers with a total of 375 followers on content creation trips to Ireland, who will amplify their content across all their channels in June. One will explore slow tourism routes in our twin region of Cork, and the other will experience the hidden heartlands, including a houseboat journey with sustainable fuel, a format resonating strongly in the German market. Just to give you an impression, you can see the video of this beautiful video of one of our content creators last year that demonstrates the beauty of slow tourism perfectly. Production of the 3rd edition of our successful Uke film series is also kicking off this week. This year's film will focus on the topic of slow tourism and will be launched in June with a corresponding campaign boost in YouTube. Naturally, the topic of slow tourism will also feature prominently across all always-on activities throughout June, like our weekly newsletter to consumers in media, trade communication, organic, social. We do reach 55,000 consumers with our newsletters and 450,000 consumers through our social channels on a daily basis. A trade toolkit, as Jessie mentioned, will support communication through our trade network, and these are our current plans for Germany, and I hope this is great. Sorry, I hope we can expand further opportunities. So sorry for that. I do hand over to Judith in GB now.
Thanks, Nadine. Hi, everyone. So we're really excited with this initiative here in GB. And so for the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through some of the Ireland UNRUSHED activity we'll be running across Great Britain across the month of June to inspire our GB visitors to come to Ireland, to slow down, to stay longer, and really experience what the island has to offer. Leading with publicity, we'll be bringing in 6 content creators to capture compelling content from sustainable transport to inspirational journeys to environmentally friendly experiences. Everything from walking, cycling, hiking, seawater swimming, kayaking, stargazing, and getting out to explore the islands, reaching an impressive 3.5 million audience across their platforms. Building on the success of our St. Patrick's Day Radio Day, we're planning an Ireland UNRUSHED Radio Day, incorporating industry partners who, through a series of interviews, will bring the idea to life for our GB listeners, highlighting the benefits of spending more time in one region, slowing down and really fully immersing themselves in nature and getting to meet the locals. And we'll host a launch for 12 to 15 media in Bath. This is a strong catchment area for travel writers and freelance media. The plan is to host the event on a barge. It's quirky, yes, but to give media the flavour and pace of what a slower holiday in Ireland could look like, inspiring them to visit soon, experience it for themselves, and then generate great coverage. We'll be selecting relevant partners from suitable experiences shared on the Industry Ops website to come along and share their stories and passion with the media. And throughout the month, the team will be constantly pitching out stories, print and video news releases to generate as much Ireland UNRUSHED coverage as possible. And then across our consumer marketing activity, we'll be reaching the GB visitor via many channels and platforms. In June, we'll be live with our AV-led partnership with Channel 4 and The Guardian encouraging our GB visitors to take their time and extend their trip, making the most of the Causeway Coastal Route and the Wild Atlantic Way. Across the Channel 4 content, we'll see our two comedians enjoying off-the-beaten-track experiences from sheepdog trials at Dunfin Farm, abseiling in Donegal, relaxing in seaweed baths in Sligo, sleeping under the stars in shepherd huts. And to complement this, slow tourism articles will run across The Guardian for the month of June. Articles will include the likes of Walk with the Sound of the Ocean to Keep You Company, Finding Laid-Back Adventures on the Island of Ireland, to Coast, the Scenic Route. And here's just a snippet from one of the articles that we've just signed off. The modern world moves pretty fast, but it's only when you take things at a slower pace that you realise what you've been missing. Slow travel is the antidote to the fast-moving, technical life that most of us lead. It's about taking your time, spending longer in a destination and really immersing yourself in a new world, rather than simply ticking locations off a list. And the shores along the island of Ireland, from Northern Ireland's Causeway Coastal Route to the Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way, are the perfect place for a slow adventure. This is a land where it pays to be unhurried, to explore every nook and cranny of a beach, to hike coastal trails, and to eat foods plucked fresh from the sea. If that sounds like your kind of trip, here's how you can travel the coastline and really soak up the culture, the vibe, and the stories. And then simultaneously, we'll be live in market with an extensive digital campaign. We'll be using the beautiful spine-tingling asset that Jessie has just shared. And this will run across Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. And this will reach 12 million of our target audience and deliver over 14 million quality opportunities to see. All this activity will be supported across TI's own channels, such as organic social and our consumer e-signs. And there'll be different posts each day highlighting journeys to take and ways to enjoy Ireland at a slower pace. We'll also put paid spend behind the lovely content produced by our 6 content creators that I mentioned earlier, and this will really boost the campaign and extend the reach. All of this activity will give us great standout and cut through in the GB market across June, enticing our GB visitors to escape their busy lives and come and enjoy Ireland in a more relaxed and meaningful way. And that's from me. I'm handing it over to you now, Aisling.
Yes, great. Thank you, Judith. So this is the exciting bit. I get to tell you how you can be part of it and get involved to amplify Tourism Ireland UNRUSHED campaign across your channels and networks. But first, I want to remind you that there will be a Q&A at the end of this. So send through your questions in the question box and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So what part of your tourism business gives visitors a chance to slow down, savor the moment, and create lasting memories? So really have a think about that, and then here is how you can get involved. Share your Ireland UNRUSHED experiences on your social and digital platforms using our hashtag Ireland UNRUSHED, which we will be using throughout the course of June for all our campaigns. If you've registered on our Industry Opportunities database, you'll receive our Ireland UNRUSHED Industry Toolkit over the next few weeks. And it's packed with shareable content and assets and loads of things to amplify this campaign and leverage it for your tourism product. You can also access the toolkit on tourismireland.com. And that will be live once the toolkit is live. Then you can also send us your Ireland UNRUSHED experiences for a chance to be included on our trade and consumer activities in our overseas markets. So I know some of you have had questions about that. So you can email industryopportunities@tourismireland.com, or the QR code there on the screen. If you scan that, it will go directly to our Ireland UNRUSHED Industry Opportunities page with all the information and contact details that you need. And a big thank you to those who've already shared your stories. Be assured we have received them and we're working our way through them and curating them in the background to see where they best fit within this campaign. Also, just a reminder to ensure that you do receive alerts directly to your inbox for all upcoming Tourism Ireland opportunities. Register for updates at the website there on the screen, tourismireland.com/opportunities. Or once again, you can scan the QR code and go directly to the registration page to make sure that you're registered with us and you're receiving all our alerts directly. And don't worry, if you've missed any of the websites or the QR codes throughout the course of the presentation, we'll be sharing a copy of the slides after the presentation so you can go back and review. Now over to Elma for your questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley. And thank you, everybody. There's been a number of questions in around, and I'm hoping Ashley has answered around how you can all get involved. So I'm hoping that is very clear. But Dawn, I saw you had a question in there about how you can get your submit experiences that could be part of the campaign. So hopefully you scanned that code, or Ashley has answered and explained to you how you can get involved. We have another question there that I might pass on to our market colleagues, Nadine or Judith. It's around what is the sentiment, or what are you hearing from tour operators in markets about the campaign and how it fits with Ireland? Nadine, would you like to have a go, or just let us know the feeling in Germany?
Yeah, we've got a very positive feedback, as you can see from the partnerships as well that we already have planned, and there are still partners that are in the development for a marketing plan together with us, so there might be more to come. And there are tour operators already feature a lot of slow tourism programs in their brochures or online. So as I said, for the consumers, they're waiting for such programs, and the tour operators are very thankful that we now start a campaign like this.
Great, thank you, Nadine. And Judith, a read from GB.
Yeah, it's just been really well received, and even from talking to Finn, our PR agency, they said, the media are really latching onto it and really love it. And you can just see that article that's been written by The Guardian, they just get it. And I think the world at the moment needs nice stories, and this is just a beautiful way to go relax and unwind. So yeah, really positive from everyone we shared so far.
Great. There were a couple of questions in there just around the timings of the campaign, and it's running, Jessie, it's running for the whole month of June, isn't it? Starting at the 2nd of June?
Yeah, so the campaign will launch on Monday, June 2nd, and it'll run for the whole month of June. So I guess it gives us a great opportunity to speak to our audiences about Ireland Unrushed, but it also gives you a great opportunity to come on board with us and talk about Ireland Unrushed from your own channels as well.
Fantastic. And the campaign, will it run again next year? Is the sense that this will run again next year as a month-long campaign?
That's a good question, Alma. And I think that is the hope, of course, that we will continue to run this moving forward. I think we'll wait and see how it performs, and then depending on that, look to see how we approach it next year.
Excellent, thank you. Can we start using the hashtag Ireland Unrushed now? So are waiting for until the campaign starts in June, I would imagine.
I was going to jump in on that one, Alma, and suggest that we all wait until June to start shouting from the rooftops about Ireland Unrushed, and leverage kind of share of voice. If we all go live in June, would be the strongest approach.
Thank you. And an interesting one here about our temperamental climate and spending longer in the country, although at the moment we couldn't ask for better weather. Is this a concern at all for the Germans or the GB market about outdoor activities?
No, it's just about, the Germans have the right clothes to come and stay longer. I just had my MPG meeting this morning, and we got the sense that people want to stay longer because the best booked tours for the summer season are the 14 days tours from Germany at the moment. So it seems like people want to stay longer, explore the regions, and do the outdoor activities.
Very good. And same for GB, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, people know about the weather. They have the weather here. So I'd say this year they'll definitely want to go and spend longer in Ireland because the weather is lovely. But it's not just about weather. It's about getting out, meeting the locals, and, really just slowing down and having a lovely time.
Excellent. There were a couple of questions in there around just how people know, Aisling, if they've already perhaps submitted. So will we be back in touch, or how does that work just from a logistical point of view?
Yeah, so we've received all the offers. We are so inundated, which is fantastic. We're so excited how excited everyone else is about this campaign and how much they feel it fits with their brand product and with their tourism offering and product. And so we're working our way through them, and we will be in touch in due course. So don't worry, we have received them. Thank you to everyone.
And I'm not answering all the questions because there's a lot about offering to host content creators, but I think Aisling and the team can get back to those people separately, but that's great and lovely to see so many offers and engagement. There's one question, Siobhan, around any marketing plans or influencers featuring Dublin in the campaign.
Yep, there are. Jessie mentioned earlier about there being 10 itineraries, and some of them are starting in Dublin. I think, you know, a lot of the access is into Dublin directly. So definitely Dublin. I think we probably haven't received as many stories from Dublin as we have from other parts of the country. So if there's anybody from Dublin on the call, we'd love to get more content for Dublin if you have it. And if you just send it on there to industry opportunities at tourismireland.com, that would be brilliant, because it will allow us just to extend the Dublin stories we have in there. But definitely there's some stories that are starting and dwelling in Dublin. It's been all about dwell time. Thanks.
Absolutely. And the itineraries will be on Ireland.com, Jessie, or the sort of the 10 hero itineraries, they will be live on Ireland.com as well.
Yeah, so the 10 hero itineraries will live on Ireland.com, but as I said, that is not to say that the campaign is limited to those hero journeys or those destinations. We're going to be featuring, you know, destinations all across the island of Ireland throughout the campaign, as you've seen now in some of the examples shared by GB and Germany. So yes, that's where they'll live, but not limited to that.
Exactly. Lots of other content there as well. Super. Still lots of offers coming in. Aisling, you're going to be inundated with offers. So that is great. Really, really great to see that engagement and positivity. Let me see. I think we are through all the questions there. Anything anyone else would like to add, or before we go, Siobhan, any closing remarks from you or Jessie?
I think there was just one comment there about, is the campaign confined to June? I think anything we get will find a home right throughout the year. I think we're all about our value-adding tourism trades and visitors who stay longer and experience more. So anything that doesn't make the June campaign will certainly find a home during the rest of the year. So it will live on, and we're hoping this is the first of many years of doing this. So thanks to everyone who's been involved so far. And if there is anything, I think Jessie's going to put back up that QR code there at the end. So if there is anything, you'll have that link there to let us know more about getting involved. But thank you so much, everyone, for attending today. And thanks a million. We look forward to seeing you again soon. I think we'll be back soon with our mainland European appraisal, a piece of work we've been working on for the last 6 months. So I look forward to sharing that with you shortly. Thanks a million.
Super. Thanks, everybody.
I would jump up one, Jessie. Oh, can I go back? Yeah.
So people take a picture of that.
This one is specifically directed due to the Ireland UNRUSHED 2025 call out. The other one is to register for future and upcoming alerts.
Excellent. And this will be circulated, and this presentation will be circulated as well, so you can get it again.